The folks over at wpmanageninja just introduced a new booking tool for WordPress. It's called FluentBooking. It integrates with their products called Fluent Forms and Fluent CRM. I'm a really big fan of this company and the products they put out. And they've got a limited time offer for people who want to buy this. There is a lifetime deal at 50% off the price that they're going to regularly charge when it goes to annual payments. So I wanted to make certain that I tell you about this. I think it's a really great product. There's going to be some growth that happens with it, but let me show you kind of a quick overview of what FluentBooking is and what it can do for you. All right, so we're on the page for FluentBooking, and you can see right up at the top, early bird lifetime deal. That's what the LTD stands for, up to 50% off. And there's going to be limited copies available. So in other words, they're not running this for a certain date. It's how many copies that they say that they're going to offer for a lifetime deal. When that sells out, it's gone. So if you see this later on, there's no lifetime deal. That's why, because it's going to expire. I'm recording this on October 18th. That's the Wednesday of 2023. That's the day they announced and launched the product. Fortunately, I've been able to use a beta version in advance, and that's why I really like this. I've used other products similar to this before. I've used Calendly, I've used Acuity scheduling, and a few different products. These things are designed for scheduling meetings with folks. So some could be one-to-one, or they could be one-to-many, like in a group setting. And of course, FluentBooking handles both of those. But the problem with some of the software as a service things like Calendly or with other things like Acuity scheduling is that they start charging you for more features. You don't pay more inside of FluentBooking. For example, if you have a number of people on your team, well, that's included with your price. Whereas all those other services, they charge you per seat. So if you've got 5 people on your team, you pay the monthly price for the option that you've chosen per team member. And that makes this probably one of the most cost-effective booking systems that I've ever seen out there. Calendly does have a free version, but it's very limited, and you can only do one calendar. Well, you have unlimited calendars, you have unlimited hosts that you can have for what we're doing with FluentBooking, and I'll show you what that looks like briefly inside. But this is just a really great little product and tool, and it is not a hassle. Kind of like they say over here, I was able to go in on the product that just came out today. I bought my copy, and I went in, I integrated it with Zoom, I integrated it with Stripe, and the instructions that they had were perfectly clear, plenty of screenshots and documentation to show you exactly how everything works. So they launched this product. There will be more improvements to come, but what they launched is working very nicely. So you can see that it just makes your scheduling easier. And here are some of the things you want to do is like if you have a personal service, if you're in sales, customer service, one of the first things I did was set up a group meeting for my bi-monthly member calls for my membership. And if you're not familiar with that, go to suburbiapress.com, and up at the top, you'll see join the membership. I've got a page there that'll tell you more about that. But basically that's for people who operate WordPress sites that just need some help and support, keeping everything going, a place to ask questions. So we have regular calls, and that's why FluentBooking was so important to me as a way to schedule that. And it syncs up with Fluent CRM, their product. If you're not using Fluent CRM, they will add more integrations in the future, but for right now, they also have webhooks. So they will integrate with webhooks, and there will be more integrations to come. On the calendar side, they're starting up with Google Calendar. They have mentioned on their page that they plan to integrate with more calendars coming up. And this is kind of common for products to launch. They get their viable product out there, and then they add extensions to it. So I've seen wpmanageninja do this before with their other tools, and I have every expectation that they will continue to do it here because they've got a great product here, and it's right off the bat, it will work very well. But let's say that you want to use Apple's calendar for your integration, that doesn't exist yet. You might be able to do something with a webhook and maybe Zapier, but eventually I expect that they're probably going to have an integration for that. Don't hold me to it. I'm not part of the team over there. I'm just a happy customer. One of the things I like is that you can get paid for your time. Integrating Stripe means that you can have a fee for someone who wants to sign up, like if you do consulting time or if you want to do an initial meeting with somebody. Well, your time is valuable. And I know this because when I was using other services, I had a problem that people would book my time for free for a discovery call, for example. And they were basically gathering information for themselves, but they didn't have any intention of booking with me, which was kind of frustrating. And I stopped doing it for a while. Well, I'll go back and I'll put out the offers for discovery calls again, but there's going to be a fee to go with it. And this integration with Stripe makes it very simple to do that. Yes, somebody can schedule a meeting with me, but they're going to be serious about it if they have to pay something for it. So they're not going to just do it on a whim to gather information. And as I said, you have unlimited hosts, unlimited meetings. You can schedule this for online meetings or offline meetings in person with groups and so forth. And you can set up these registration pages. There's a couple places you can do it. You can add it to your web page. You can do it with a landing page that it will create for you. You can have Gutenberg blocks that will integrate it within some of your pages where you've put other things on there as well. This is their introductory pricing. For right now, until this goes away, these are the prices. You pay this fee once. So if you have one site, $99, you've got it for life. And that's going to be 50% off of what you can see what the normal price is going to be up here. I purchased the 5-site license because I've got a few different sites. And instead of $4.99, I paid $2.49. And again, that's a lifetime deal. If you are a consultant someplace or you're doing web development for other people and you want to use this on their site, but you host the plugin, then you can go ahead and buy a 50-site license. And again, it is lifetime. But if let's say you buy the 5-site license and you want to upgrade, when this deal is over, it's over. So you won't be able to get this kind of deal again. And that's something that most people may not be aware of, that said, well, if I bought it on a lifetime deal here, why can't I go ahead and buy it on a lifetime deal to upgrade? It doesn't work that way. Buy what you need. In my case, the 5-site license was fine for me. So as I said, you can add, unlimited hosts, which is, for example, people on my site. I would be a host. If my wife is on there, she would be a host. If I have other people that are joining on there, they can be hosts as well too. So if you've got a team of people, you can add unlimited hosts. Each of those hosts can have unlimited meetings. So do you need other Fluent plugins? No, you don't. But it will integrate with Fluent Forms and with Fluent CRM. You don't have to code anything. And what calendar integrations? Right now, it works fine with Google Calendar. And down at the end, it says, we will add more calendar integrations soon. So I expect that we're going to see common calendars. For example, if you're using Outlook, I imagine that's a popular one. I'm using Apple Mail, which is also popular. So I expect we're going to see things like that in the not too distant future. And right now, you've got Google Meet and Zoom integration. They say that more integrations are coming along. You will also find out, as I said, Fluent Forms, Fluent CRM, WP Fusion, Zapier, Pabbly, Make, and Webhooks. Make used to be Integrately or Integromat. I don't remember which one, but they changed that. And they've got a place on their settings for Twilio, which isn't out just yet. But if you want to do SMS messaging, Twilio is a service that does that, and they're going to integrate that as well. Think about the lifetime deal. Pay once, use it forever. And you're not paying service fees on a monthly basis like you would with Calendly or Acuity scheduling. And that's something that I really like. All right, so I've been using the beta version on my test site, but on this one, this is actually the Suburbia Press site. So I just installed it today. I haven't got anything really complicated going on here, but you can see where I'm on my dashboard. Now, when you first sign up, it'll say getting started. And the first thing it's going to prompt you to do is to, create a calendar, make an event. And then I'll show you what that looks like inside of here. But once you've done that, then it'll switch this over to dashboard. And that'll show you how many bookings you have, what's completed, what's canceled, how many guests that you've had. So you'll see some stats coming in here. For the calendars, there's a couple things. You can see add new host. So I am here as a host. If I wanted to click this, I can select people who are on my site. So for example, if I wanted my technical support to have a one-on-one, then I get a booking page like this. So I can put in a title. I can select a meeting duration, and you can do a custom one if you want to. Well, let's say we do a 30-minute meeting and a description here, and then you can select your location. Now, this is something that confused me at first, but I went back and found it, and I'm going to show you this on the meeting that I've already got set up. So it shows conferencing and it shows Google Meet not connected yet. It doesn't show Zoom, and that's because I haven't enabled that for this person. But you can see that there are other things, in-person meeting, at the address it's going to be. So if we select this, and you can add another choice as well to put in where else it's going to be, or an online meeting, you can put that in, or something custom, and you can just put in all the details there. And then you can select your time zone, and that's really all you need to do. But I'm going to cancel this one out because I did want to show you back over here on this meeting that I have. Wrong button. If I click on edit, you'll see that this is a membership call and location is Zoom video. So I've already gone through the documentation. I've integrated Zoom, as I said, and Google Meet I have not integrated because I don't use that right now, but Zoom is there. And that way I've also got this option here that comes down. It says max invitees in a spot. Depending upon the plan you have with one of these conferencing solutions, you may not be able to handle more than a given number. So what this will do is, let's say I set this to 100, and on the page where people register, if I check this box, it'll display the remaining spots on the booking page. And that's kind of nice information. You don't want to have people who register for something and then cannot get in. So I think this is a clever little thing. And for each event, you've got details that you can set up for your calendar, your schedule settings. And I have my meetings on Thursdays at Eastern time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then I say people can't schedule within 5 minutes of an event. You can change this however you want to, minutes, hours, and days, and then whatever number you want over here. And you can also set some custom hours for a meeting. I've got this on an existing schedule. Your notifications, you can edit these. Some of these are disabled by default, but if you want to have a booking confirmation, you've got a page right here, and you can see that they've got some short codes that talks about what it is and where to go. So there's the booking location details. And if you need to reschedule or cancel, they've got that. Now you can customize this, and in fact you should, but there's ways that you can just add more short codes. And if you look at this, it'll tell you exactly what those short codes are. And if there's payment involved, it'll let you know the total and status. So there's plenty of information there. And you'll find that with a number of these different things. So if you want to configure a meeting reminder to the attendee and also to the organizer, which is you, then you can set this up and say, we're going to be starting in a certain amount of time. And here's the timing. How many minutes before the meeting do you want to send this up? And you can add multiple reminders. Maybe you want to do it a day in advance. Like, for example, if you're having a webinar, you may want to do it an hour in advance and then another one 15 minutes. So you can go ahead and add, let's see, 1 day before. And then you could add another one for 1 hour before. And it's really that simple. And then you just save the email and you can put that in there. So you can go and edit these things, put in your own personal information, but it's got the details about the event already there. So I'm going to cancel that out. And I won't go through each one of these. Booking questions, you can come over here. It's like, what is the meeting about? Basically your name, your email, and you can add more questions for the people you invite. So in other words, these are the things that you're asking the people who are going to register. What's your name? What's your email? And this one, what is this meeting about? You can see there's a toggle over here. That depends on the type of meeting. If it's something where I'm having a recurring meeting, well, they know what it's about. I don't need to add that on, so I can turn that off. But if I were hosting a discovery call and they're going to say that I need to talk to you about being a web developer for my site or helping me enhance something, then you want to know what that is in advance. And of course, you can add more questions later on. You just simply choose a field type, put in a label, a placeholder, and if it's required or not, and you can go from there. If you want to charge, you can enable this if it's a paid event, and there might be a booking fee. I like the fact that it defaults to $100. I'm not going to do that for my members because they're already paying. But you can update the settings for specific events. Again, if you're doing a discovery call for somebody or you're doing a consulting call, they can have payment information. I mentioned that there are webhooks and feeds. You don't have any by default, but you can create some, and you can choose what kind of information it's going to be. Is it booking confirmed, canceled, completed, and then you can enable it. So you do a little bit of testing, and that's more than we want to go in through here. And then with your integrations, you'll see Fluent Booking is integrated with Fluent CRM. After you install that, you can have configure the integration feed here. And if you go down here to the settings, you'll see this is where you can add your team members. So again, you select a member, and I'm already selected. So if you want another host, it could be somebody who is on your team that's registered as a user inside of WordPress. And then from inside of that, you can go ahead and add what their permissions are going to be. So we've got all of these different permissions: read and access and write, or manage all availabilities, whatever it's going to be. If you want to do Google Calendar and Meet, they've got the settings over here. Zoom, I've already gone ahead and connected my account. The one for Twilio, as I mentioned, is not available yet. It'll be available in the next version. I have Stripe available, and I've got it in test mode right now. So that way I can test it. You can disconnect if you want to, and you set your currency. You can make your hours available. So there's a weekly schedule. I've got my own little schedule over here, and you can see what, how many calendars or events are using this schedule. There's a lot more to go into with this. I haven't taken this live yet, so I don't really have some of the information here. But I do plan on doing more videos about this, but I wanted to get out and show you today, because it was launched today, that there is a limited time lifetime deal offer, and it's a 50% savings of what the annual fee is going to be in the future. I am really very happy with this. I can't tell you just how thrilled I am to have something that I can host on WordPress without having to pay recurring fees to Calendly, or I was using Acuity Schedule the last time around. It does all the things that I wanted to do. And keep in mind, adding more team members, as I said, costs you per seat on those other services. So your price keeps going up just to have someone else there. Since this is self-hosted, they don't need to charge you for that. They just charge you for the software, and then you operate it the way you want to. If you want to, please, there's a link in the description below. Go over to suburbiapress.com/fluentbooking, and that will take you right over to their page. So that link is suburbiapress.com/fluentbooking, and that will be in the description below. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you take a look at it, because booking with your customers and clients or potential customers is a great way to get their information. What are their pain points? What are their problems? And that helps you come up with new offers, new services, and things that you can use to help out your audience. If you like this video, please go ahead, click the like button. That tells the YouTube overlords we did something right, and hopefully they will send more traffic to this. And until then, I will see you in the next video.